Oh yeah, I saw the Panda controller. Like, I have very mixed feelings about the Panda controller, and I don't know why. Like, it reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. Like, what does it remind me of? And I mean, like, the design and, like, kind of the concept of it. Which we can pull it up right now. Panda Global Controller. It looks so close to being, like, just a GameCube controller. I don't think the little divot here matters all too much, so I think that it's probably gonna end up being fine. But I'm pretty, yeah, it's, like, already been backed. But, we can actually look at the video. Let's just watch the video. Is it all, none of it on YouTube? Okay, fine, I'll just go on their Kickstarter. Oh, they blew that fucking goal out of the water. Holy shit. Smooth buttons, Panda stick locks, durable and precise. Kind of weird to me that, like, they probably could have gotten notched. Like fucking all out notched, I mean. Because, like, obviously this is a fucking notch controller. It has the little things. But they could have gone for, like, Firefox angles, you know what I mean? They added support for notches? Did it? Hold on. I gotta watch the entirety of it, and then I'm gonna... Wait, hold on. What was that? Removable USB to USB/GameCube cables? Oh, so they include the cables themselves. ZR and ZL buttons. That's actually just a big quality of life thing, because, like, if I'm trying to play a game on a GameCube controller, like, if I'm playing Celeste, then, you know, I want all the buttons that I can. So you don't sacrifice the entire shell when you're trying to knock. That's huge. That's actually pretty big. Back buttons. Swappable expansion pack. What do you mean swappable expansion pack? What does that mean? Customizable shoulder height. Advanced features. Snapback dampening reduction buttons. That's... goddamn. D-pad switches. Calibration button. Removable gates. Oh, okay, that's huge. Magnetically removable shell. Damn, they getting fancy with it. Changes shapes to the Pro Shell. I don't like the shape. I'm gonna say it. I don't like the shape. The shape looks so close. You know what I mean? Something about it just... it looks wrong. And I don't know what it is about it. That's what it reminds me of, actually. Hold on. It's like fucking... it's like the fucking Detroit Become Human robots. It's whenever they, like, just become the fucking stock model. Like, it looks so close to like, being a GameCube controller. But then it just isn't. It's the fucking Detroit Beyond Human, Detroit Become Human robots. But, like, without the fucking pigmentation. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like. It feels so uncanny valley. Like, it just looks like it's so close to being a GameCube controller, but, like, so far from it. You know what I mean? It's so weird. God, that looks... I don't know what to make of it. I just don't know what to make of it. Whether or not that's gonna influence, like, the factors in buying it is a different matter, but, like, we'll see. Okay, weights, pro-grade parts. We got Waddy, I see. Pre-order for $90. Back to Kickstarter today. That shit $90? $90 is a solid chunk of cash.
This is a GameCube controller. Developed
I know.
20 years ago for the Nintendo GameCube,
I know what it is.
A weapon of choice for many serious gamers around the world, especially those who play platform fighters. Today, the only GameCube controllers available are ones that have new, inferior parts. So players have to hunt.
Yeah, I guess that's true. For what you're getting, it's like pretty value, but
and that feels good to them.
I don't know. It still feels like pretty steep, all things considered.
Other controllers like the DualShock or the Xbox controller have been updated and revised over the years. Tragically, this one has never had a modern revision until today.
I'm assuming he's just gonna go more in detail about it in this this trailer, well, like what the whole deals are. Unless they just like use this as an intro and then just don't tell me anything. But surely that's not gonna be the case, right? There's also the question, is this shit gonna even be tournament legal? Calibration buttons. Hold on, I'm gonna look for the I'm just gonna go on Panda Global YouTube, because I'm sure they like detailed it, right? Yeah.
Smooth face buttons allow you to move from.
That is a pretty big complaint of mine when it comes to GameCube controllers. Like the D-pad just doesn't feel good. Like a lot of times it's just incredibly mushy. So you know that's a little annoying. But you know, having an alternative is just always great, I think. Weight mod and wireless mod, yeah, for the expansion pack. I guess yeah, they could do that, but like, I don't know. I feel like a GameCube controller as is, like the back doesn't matter all too much. I guess there's no reason not to add it, right? I guess thinking about it, yeah, why wouldn't they? But like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the boomer mentality where I'm like, ugh, something new. Yucky. I don't want this new shit interfering with my old shit. Just give me more of the old shit.
Next, seamlessly and faster than ever before, onto the shoulder buttons.
Epic.
As you can see, the controller has 4 shoulder buttons like modern controllers. The Z buttons were also remade for a much smoother feel. We're also introducing 2 new buttons. The removable back buttons were placed in a position.
I'ma say it. I'm not a big fan of the new back buttons. You know what I mean? Like I see the trend going where like so many people are adding back buttons to their controllers. And I'm just kind of sitting here like, why? Like that just doesn't look comfortable, you know? Like if I'm gripping my controller, then am I not just gonna accidentally press the buttons? You know what I mean? Like it just seems like needlessly placed, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like it offers much practicality for the potential risk, in my opinion. Which I'm assuming there's gonna be an option to like turn that off. Because from the looks of it, this controller looks like it's made with the intent to be customizable. Like they even got the fucking, is that an Allen wrench? What is that? Do they got like something that you can mod inside of the controller? Like
back buttons were placed in a bit. This is the expansion pack. Yes, that's right. We brought it back. This
fucking
is the weight
expansion pack, dude.
If we hit our first stretch goal, we'll be able to include this on every controller that allows you to customize the weight to make it as heavy or as light as you like. Sold separate.
Bro, if I can't fucking get jacked with that, if I can't have a solid chunk of the expansion pack made out of tungsten, bro, what even is the point? What the fuck is the point of me having an expansion pack if I can't load that shit up with some tungsten, you know? Like they better support me in that endeavor. They better give me the means for it.
Separately will be the wireless pack. This pack will allow you to connect to the Switch or the PC. You may have noticed that the shoulders have a little lip on them. That's because using this little dial, you can actually control how high or how low you want your shoulder button, as high as the stock controller and as low as a single button press. The way
I feel bro, I'm gonna lose half of these fucking parts if I get it. I am gonna lose every single part that they're showing off right now within the first like 2 days. On God. I feel like a lot of this shit is just gonna end up falling off. Like they better make this secure as hell. Because like a big concern that I have is like, well, what happens if I fucking lose half of the parts? What happens if it's like not great craftsmanship? You know what I mean? What happens if the parts just kind of slide off from time to time? Like, what happens if I drop my controller? Am I gonna lose like a bunch of parts if it shatters on the floor? Like, what's the deal?
Is all you need to take.
Bro, rage quitting is gonna be a thing of the past with this controller. You know what? That's at the check, you know. This is how you know Panda Global went and did their research. Cause Smash players notorious for fucking the amazing salty moments. You know what I mean? I feel like Smash as a community has better salty moments than like any of the FGC. So they slam that shit to the floor. So if I can't slam this controller on the floor and all the parts remain intact, that's how you know they didn't do their research. That's how you know they need to go back to the lab. They need to make that shit rage quitting proof. Bro, I gotta be able to do the Leffen. You know, I gotta be able to go up on main stage, slam my fucking controller to the floor, and have this thing still be intact. Otherwise, money back. That's all I'm saying. If I can't do the Leffen, what even is the point?
Take apart this entire
has a magnetic shell. It fucking
Speaking of taking the controller,
better have a strong ass magnetic shell. I want to slam that shit against the wall.
On this whole thing, the shells are magnetically attached. We customize the face of your.
Bro, you know they're gonna have a fucking high-powered magnet on Leffen's shit. You know he's gonna have to use that shit as a fucking. You know they're gonna have to be able to stick that thing onto their refrigerator, dude. That magnet better be strong as hell.
This is a regular Panda Controller GameCube shell. This is the Panda Controller Pro shell. Changing the shape of the.
Fuck is the difference? Am I seeing things? Am I just not noticing something? Looks like a Pro controller. Yeah, but like.
Comfortable.
Oh wait, is it just a little indent here? Like, I see that's not there.
A lot of controller.
Maybe I just need to see it. Maybe I just need to see it on the actual thing. You think this is gonna be tournament legal though? I think the legality has to be in question, right? Like if this is just a better controller, because like people are talking about the Smash box and being like, yeah, should it be tournament legal? Like why not have the same conversation with this, right? Like just because it's the same shape doesn't really mean much, right? I mean, I see reasons why people would argue that it shouldn't be legal, but I also like, I understand that GameCube controllers are incredibly finicky at the end of the day, right? Like getting a solid GameCube controller is a pain. Having to look for one is also a pain. So having like a reliable source that you could just go back to in order to get like pretty convenient for the most part. I think it'll let people get into competitive Smash, like even more so. Because a lot of people do want GameCube controllers, right? If this works for Melee, then that's also pretty big. Which I'm assuming they're making it also for Melee. Like, I think the natural assumption is if you're making a GameCube controller, that shit better be able to work with Melee. Yeah, exactly. Like, it makes, it just eliminates that little entrance thing, you know, that barrier to entry that some people might have.
We reverse engineered the T3 stick box, which is what many modders think is one of the best stick boxes out there. On top of redesigning it, we modernized features to make it our own, including adding a tactile click. The Panda stick box will be compatible with all T3 motherboards.
Wait, was that R3? Or L3 in this case? Like, is that actually a button, or is it Because man, I'm out here trying to play Dark Souls with the GameCube controller. I ain't trying to go through Dark Souls Remastered and go onto the stupid rafters without notches on my controller again. That shit annoying. Like, bro, I need notches for that. It would have been so helpful.
Or to get the fastest movement between button presses as possible. For our ZL and ZR buttons, we redesigned them so that they have rubber pads for a more comfortable feel when you press it. Additionally, in GameCube mode, both of them are matched to the Z button. When you plug it,
I will say this. When I look at this, it screams soft. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is about it, but it just screams like this shit is softer than a normal GameCube controller, and I don't know why. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just me, right? Surely it's not just me with this incredibly strange thought that probably has never crossed anybody's mind until I said it out loud, right? The Smash 4 one's like... kind of. It looks like a softer version of a Smash 4 controller, like the white one. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels like it's going to end up being really squishy. You know, like, I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's just a color scheme. Maybe it's a color scheme that's like throwing me off as much as it is, like the black and white, because it just looks strange to me. Which, like, obviously, I'm assuming they have fucking a full range of customizable options. Like, there's no shot that they release a controller like this and then don't allow you to customize it like as much as you would want to. You know what I mean? Because this so far has just screamed customization options to me. Like, it's just like there is no fucking shot that they don't let you customize your things. Like, with what they give me, obviously people are gonna be like grabbing for it. You know, people are gonna definitely be going for different shit. I don't know. I'm rambling at this point. So, like, I'm just gonna let the video play out.
The back buttons by default are mapped to X and Y. If you'd like to, you can remove the 2 buttons. And in their place, you can put in 2 plugs that come with the controller. Now, let's get to...
That's all I wanted to hear. Bro, I ain't trying to play Fortnite on a GameCube controller. I don't need those extra buttons for building. You know what I mean? I don't need those extra buttons. I don't think they serve like any purpose with how games are currently designed. Like, maybe down the line, whenever you're gonna want just more buttons in order to do more actions, then it's gonna be useful. I think it would be fine for like Fortnite. I think that's like the only game I can think of that that would be able to use it to the capacity that it would be able to be used. But like, who the fuck out here playing Fortnite? Other than me, obviously, you know, I'm on that fucking grind, dude. I'm out here clocking into Fortnite like it's my 9 to 5. You're waiting to back the controller until I see what Panda does with the whole Nintendo thing. Yeah, that's honestly, yeah. That's a part of it is also like brand, right? If Panda botches it, then like that's gonna be a concern. If they're just slurping on Nintendo wiener, you know, to say it in a rather vulgar way, then like I'm not gonna want to fucking support Panda Global. And like, if Nintendo doing some shit in the background with this controller, then like I don't know if I want a part of that. I don't know if that's something that I want to get involved with, you know, like I don't know. Which do be so it is pretty smart on the side of the people who are a bit more skeptical about things, I guess.
Down the line, we're planning on adding other expansion packs, the first of which may be an audio pack. Included under the...
Excuse me? What the fuck am I gonna want an audio pack for? You mean like I'm gonna have to plug in my my headset into my GameCube controller into so that I can play like Fortnite on my PS5 on a GameCube controller or something? Because I'll definitely say this is gearing towards like general audiences. The fact that they're adding as much stuff as they are, like just the sheer amount of buttons that they're adding too, and the pro faceplate, like more people are used to that. It definitely seems to me like they're not specifically gearing towards the Smash community, which I think is good. Honestly, I think it's fine. Cause like, obviously, if you release GameCube Controller 2, then Smash players are already gonna be interested, right? Like they're already gonna look at that and say, "Oh, Smash Controller 2. I'm listening. You have my attention." You hear bruh sound. Bro. No shot. No shot. They actually, what are they gonna do about that? If like a modder gets their hand on this controller, they get a sound pack, and then they just bind something like downbeat to bruh. So whenever they're fucking multi-shining, you just hear bruh, 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 bruh. Like, is that gonna be tournament legal? Bro, the whole venue is gonna tell this kid to shut the fuck up. Cause this kid is gonna be multi-shining, saying bruh, 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 bruh. That shit's gonna be dude, it's just gonna be like that one kid. Who was that one kid at the high school at the Smash Club who would just always play Gangplank Galleon on his fucking phone? That's gonna be him, but on this controller.
Pack bay is an M3 Allen wrench. This is the only tool you need to take the controller completely apart. It's magnetically held in
That's
place,
huge, by the way.
And it doesn't only take apart the controller.
Man, this is how I know I'm accustomed to streaming. I'm pausing every 3 fucking seconds just to talk about it. But the fact that they have an Allen wrench in their controller just screams how much effort they put into like how customizable this is. You know what I mean? Because like this is definitely something that they put a lot of time and effort into, and they clearly want it for modders to be able to use it too. Like they definitely want modders to feel comfortable using it, because I feel like they know, right? I definitely think that they know that a solid chunk of the GameCube modding community is gonna like be a little hesitant on this, because this is basically just an entirely new what's it called? It's an entirely new product, right? So they're gonna have to order a bunch of inventory depending on the demand and obviously the legality. And then they're gonna have to sink even more resources into it. So making that process as easy as it possibly can be for people is definitely something that's in their best interest to do. I definitely see like where their thought process is in designing this, like from from just a general point of view, like a general business point of view, from a community point of view, because like Panda obviously is incredibly community oriented. Like if any esport organization is like as Smash centered as Panda, then like by all means fucking Smash is thriving. You know, like that's just huge.
It can also be
The pull off getting more stock on the actual controller until they fulfill all the backers first. Yeah, that's a big thing. I feel like if you're not backing it, you're gonna have to wait a while, because that was the case for the what was it? You know the Panda Global adapter, the one where you could play Smash like just from your Switch. They had a little stand on top of a normal GameCube controller adapter, so you could use it as that on top of just a normal GameCube controller adapter. So like that was something that I think they released for the people like that were backing it, and then they just took like fucking centuries to give it out to everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, if I remember correctly, like I could be wrong about this, which I'm probably gonna edit this into a video, so I'll be sure to leave an asterisk saying like whether or not that was or was not the case when whenever I edit it.
To adjust your triggers, as well
I'm just gonna turn up the volume.
as to change the trigger modes on the dials on the inside. You can customize the height of your trigger with 16 different settings using that Allen wrench. Now, once your height is changed, you'll need to calibrate your controller so that you can still hit every single analog value. To do that, we've added a calibration button right here. This calibration button is also used for the sticks. If you have a different gate, or you remove and change your gate, you can calibrate your stick for alignment and to allow you to have 1.0 cardinal inputs. Speaking of gates,
I have like no fucking clue what this guy just said. I'm not gonna lie. I heard calibrate your analog stick, calibrate your triggers, and then I just kind of lost track of what the fuck he was talking about. I'm not gonna lie.
in the ABXY, home, plus, minus, and capture buttons. If you remove the mask, you can take the buttons out and easily swap them. You'll also notice that there are two.
Swap them with what? You mean just like swap the position? What the fuck am I gonna use them for? 1.0 cardinal. Oh, okay, to match the notches on the stick gate. I see, I see. Okay, I see where all of this would be useful, especially in the modding community. I feel like... Hold on. Has Nez been online, like, at all? I feel like I can't anything from Nez about this, right? I heard from the fucking on July 29th.
Now, let's get to the features on the back. First, you'll notice that there are 3 large sections up here in green. Those are all removable. The first is a cover for the motor. You can easily pop out your rumble motor now without cutting the wire. This bracket holds it in. The 2 green sections on the sides are trigger mounting plates.
All of this is going to be removable with that Allen wrench, by the way. Keep in mind the fact that everything is going to be removable by that thing that is already inside of the product. Like, that's going to be pretty big for modding. Because, like, I think it's leaning a whole lot towards DIY stuff, right? The fuck? Yeah, but I think leaning towards DIY stuff is probably going to be pretty big. Modders are definitely going to have some competition with the fact that people are switching to DIY because of this controller. Assumedly, at least. Assumedly. Because, the fuck am I going to go to Gooms for if I could just mod my controller myself? Or you just buy the small mods here and there. I mean, I guess they're probably going to offer, like... But the best analogy I could give is, like, it's going to be like Animal Crossing, right? So, in New Horizons, there is the option to customize furniture yourself, which, like... I'm not going to say it's limited, but, like, it's definitely... The alternative is you go over to Cyrus and Reese, right? Thanks to the new update. And they could just offer more in-depth customization that you yourself cannot do. So it's probably just going to be a bit more like that.
We don't want to just throw this controller out into the wild and not support it. So we've made it so you can download firmware updates on your own. This gives us the ability to add things down the line that the community might want, like POD emulation, button remapping, and notch calibration. We're not planning on implementing these features at launch. We want to make sure that everything we add to this is tournament legal.
Okay, so they're like actually giving thought as to whether or not this is going to be tournament legal, and they're not just putting it out. That's interesting, because the thing is, they can't really decide what is and isn't tournament legal just because they're like big org. So like waiting on the community consensus as to whether or not it should be legal is definitely the smart play. Especially just because, like, you don't want to release all of these fancy bells and whistles on a professional-oriented controller that people aren't going to be able to use in a professional setting. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I'm assuming they already have stuff, like, in theory, right? Like, they already have a bunch of designs in mind, and they might have the, I don't know, blueprints? The actual designs for them, like, in a room somewhere. And, they're just waiting to release them to find out whether or not they're actually going to be able to, like, sell these and make money off of it. You know what I mean? They have everything ready. They just need the green light. Okay, where's that link for all the technical stuff? Nowhere. Okay, we just watched the entire thing. Overall, how do I feel about this controller? It definitely is something that everybody's going to want to pay attention to. I don't think there's a single person that says they're in the Smash community that shouldn't pay attention to, like, what the details are of this. Now, I do think that people shouldn't be hard one direction or the other in terms of its legality. Because, like, I can definitely see the potential of this getting banned. However, I also see all of the benefits that that this could entail, right? I think having just having more GameCube controllers out in the market is definitely something that's a pro, right? I definitely think that that's something that the community can use, because, like, if people want to use a GameCube controller, then they don't gotta go out into, like, fucking Goodwill, look for 3 hours at each location in their town, and hope that they find a GameCube controller, or order it for, like, hundreds of dollars online. You know what I mean? Like, it gets rid of the extremes of both ends, where, like, if you want a cheap GameCube controller, you have to try to find one at, like, a secondhand store, and maybe it's in good condition. You know, things like that. Where the opposite end is like, you don't want to, how do I put it? You also don't want to spend like $200 just getting a controller to be able to go 2.0, you know what I mean? So overall, having all of the combination, or not combination, customization options that you do is definitely something that's going to be beneficial for the community in the long run. But at the same time, is this going to end up creating an environment where this controller is basically the only one that you can use, right? Well, not the only one that you can use, but the only one that you should be using, just because of how many bells and whistles that it has. You know what I mean? Which, like, the same thing can be said about modded controllers, but at the same time, modded controllers definitely don't add as much as these ones do, from the looks of it. The big difference, I think, is in the accessibility of the two. I think given the fact that this one is going to be, like, sold en masse, and, theoretically, of course, like, we don't know the details of how this is going to end up being, and we don't really know the details of, like, what all of this is going to entail. But, yeah, exactly. We have the Goomwave, we have the NES Mod God controllers, and now we have the Panda Global controllers, right? And the fact that, assumedly, these things are going to be produced more than Goomwave and top-notch controllers, we can assume that this is going to be something huge for the community, and they definitely need to pay attention to this. Otherwise, like, this is just gonna... Because this could change Smash, right? I don't think that's an understatement. I think the fact that this has as many bells and whistles as it does is definitely going to change the way people play. And it's definitely gonna influence, like, top competitive play. I don't think that's an understatement. I don't think there's any confusing how big this could potentially be. But, like, the fact that it is as impactful also means, like, should we allow it to be tournament legal? Because then it's gonna require that people basically have this. It's basically just gonna be a requirement. And do we really want to make it a requirement? I don't know. I feel like price is also a big thing. How easily accessible is it to get this controller? Is it, like, purely $90? They're gonna have discounts here and there? Like, I don't know. Overall, we really just gotta look at this and be like, okay, what does this mean? You know, we gotta think about what it means to make this tournament legal and all that it entails. But overall, I think it's fine. My personal opinion is, like, I think it's fine for people to use the controller. However, I think if it gets to the point where, like, all of the best players are using this controller, and, like, all the best players, because I think it should be legal off the gate, right? I think it should definitely be something that people could use when it comes out. It's something that should be welcomed, right? I'm not saying that people should fucking scowl at the kid who brings one of these. However, down the line, if we see, like, ridiculous difference in terms of people who use these controllers and people who don't use these controllers, like, amongst many different regions too, because we can't just make it like, oh, well, the top players who are already performing well are like all using this controller. Like, you know, we can't just base it off of that. We have to, like, take time to analyze the stats behind how much of an improvement these controllers would provide. But overall, I think it's fine for the first few bits. We just need more data on it, I think. I think assuming that we get more data, then we can make the call on as to whether or not these should be tournament legal. But at the same time, if we wait, then it creates the problem of, like, banning a character where people are like, ah, well, I already spent this much time in this character. I'm not just going to pick up another one. Overall, new waters we're exploring. New territory. Definitely something that we're going to need to keep a watchful eye on, to say the least. I'm looking forward to it though. I don't know, it's definitely, you know what I want to know? I want to see how like people who play different competitive games react to this controller. Because I think we're focusing on Smash a little too much, right? I think we're all looking at Smash and thinking like, bro, this is gonna be huge for it. But at the same time, if we look at something like, if we look at this in relation to something like, I don't know, like Street Fighter, right? I don't think anybody's gonna use this for Street Fighter. But I don't know, I could end up being surprised. I think if we look at other competitive games, like maybe Fortnite, because I know there's some console players who do play Fortnite on console and who have gotten pretty favorable results. Then it'll be interesting to see how they react to this controller. Because like in those communities, I think controller modding and like making your controller as best as it can isn't necessarily uncommon. So how they adapt to this controller is probably something that we should definitely consider. USB Type-C is definitely going to be something that that allows Fortnite players, because I'm pretty sure the new DualShock uses USB Type-C, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt to these controllers, if at all. Because depending on how Panda markets this, like that's gonna be a whole ordeal, I think. It'll be really interesting to see other competitive games, because I don't want to just focus on Smash, even though I think that's what this controller is geared for.